Dow and the S&P making new all-time highs today, although finishing more on the flat side. We still have an hour left to go. We saw a record call buying yesterday. Does this mean that we are near a major historic top? And is there FOMO in the marketplace? We'll talk about that and a lot more here today. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2026, and spiders are hanging out here flat. We've been in a pinned range for about 3 hours here. Same thing on the Qs. We actually had I said actually in the morning show, if we would get down to 770 on SPY, that would probably be about it. That was your dip buy if they let it get there. And, they got there on the 720 on the QQQ. So nice little job there. We had some SOXL in the trading room, which you can join on carnivoretrades.com. And actually double dipped on it earlier. So, SOXL, SMH, getting a little bit of a bounce here on the flatter side. We do have SanDisk after the close. Now it's down 1.6%. I actually think SanDisk is positioned pretty well. I'm not calling it, but I wouldn't surprise me if it goes to 1700. That is a possibility. And it's pretty well supportive at like 1200 too. So we'll see if that plays out. But I'm just holding a runner in my SOXL right now. We also had gold and silver inching up. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this chart here, I've had probably 4 or 5 people send it to me, and I've seen it probably 10 or 15 times on X. So all right. So this is a signal of euphoria, right? Not really. It's really not. I'm sorry if this is going to be like a clickbaity thing, but I gotta explain this because it's very important. And clearly there's a lot of people who want to fight this rally because I've seen this chart so many times. But we've had record call buying for years. We've also had record option volumes for the last 7 years periodically, with the steady, just look at the chart here, right? If you find a chart with puts, it looks the same way. It's the same exact thing. And my response to this here is the beatings will continue until the obsession with call selling stops. What do I mean by that? I've talked about this on my channel on Carnivore Trades here. You go check it out. It's right in this video, right here, this video here, and the other video on dispersion. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, this one here. But 8.3 trillion sitting in money market funds, right? If 90% of them are also providing yield and generating yield, which they are, and you have every month a new GPIQ or a PLTY or one of these yield max products, and they're all selling calls with indiscrimination, you're going to have a market that's perpetually overhedged, right? So that's why we talked about this so many times last year. Is like, I'm not getting out of my longs. The market's really hedged here, and and people thought I was a complete idiot, and I was called names and all this stuff here, and I said the market's really hedged here, and when it unwinds, it's going to V shape, and it was the same thing, the year before. We had this massive V shape. We had a massive V shape here. The reason why there's such a powerful V shape is because if you're not familiar with how this works, and you've got to know how this works, you're gonna have to learn this, because all these accounts with 100,000 followers that have their heads up their ass and they're getting circles run around them because they're just paying attention to the old wall rules, and there's a new regime here. All right, when funds here, we have structured products that are 3 times the size that they were 3 years ago, right? That means that there's the 3 times the amount of hedging, right? And you never hedge for upside, you hedge for downside, right? They're selling calls. They have no choice. It's part of the prospectus. They have to sell calls, right? So what happens when you sell call? Market makers on the other end, they have to short stock, right? In response, to be hedged, to be delta neutral. When those puts start to decay for whatever reason, they do what? They buy back the stock. Well, now if you have 3 times as much of that going on, it's that much harder for the market to go down. It's that much harder because you're already at a massive level of short interest, right? If it took 5 billion, what if it's a pretend number? If it took 5 billion to cause a short squeeze now it takes 2.5. It takes 1. Right. That's why we have these vertical. It's not FOMO. It's not FOMO. Look at X. Everybody's bitching right now. Everybody's bitching because they missed the move, and they're calling it greed. They're calling it this. They're calling it that. They're obsessing over fucking TSA airport traffic, and the market doesn't care about the damn strait anymore. Okay, like that's just are you seeing it? Right. And everybody in this market right now, all I see is bitching and complaining. So I don't see the euphoria here. I really don't. But you know, even if it was there, my point is, it's a lot harder for the market to see these blow off moves. And I mean, it looks like it's blowing off, but it's just a reflexive mechanism to the massive amount of short calls that are, you know, unwinding. That's why we have these V shapes like this. I'm trying to explain this here, and I don't think it gets through. But and that's fine. If you want to call me an idiot, great. That's even better for me because I'll just continue to reap the rewards, and you know we'll continue to do that. So sorry for the rant, but this is, you know, this is how it is, and you need to understand this. So anyway, so the cues today, we got a SanDisk after the close. How about that? We saw a little bit of a stall out. I think I mentioned that in one of the morning videos, which you can come check out on Carnivore Trades at 8:45 every day. And you know, that we'd probably see a stall Wednesday and then maybe into Thursday. We do have jobs on Friday also. A lot of days end with a Y here this week. But nonetheless, you know, we had a 3 standard dev on the spiders. We talked about that in yesterday's video. So it's pulling back, right? It's a low energy day here. The Dow is also at 3 standard devs. This one might be like, if you absolutely have to short because everybody's so euphoric, you know, may even pick at the Dow here just because of that, with a tail candle there and a, you know, pierce of this bull market trend line here too. So it might not be too bad going into tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, right now, quiet day, market's kind of just relaxing off of the energy yesterday. Now, there are some areas that are doing really well, gold and silver. We actually day traded silver here this morning, and that worked out very well. Still holding a runner in this too. This might be a lot more than a day trade. I think there's a chance. Now, here's what I'll say for you, just so I don't sound like an obnoxious bull, but I'm sure everybody already clicked off of it, so who cares? But yeah, right now, gold, I think, might be sniffing something out. I mean, this is just a big move for gold to just break that trend for no reason. And we talked about this. We're either going to go down here or we're going to see a bear flag failure. And I said, you know what? The longer that this goes sideways and doesn't break down, the more likely it's going to be a fail. Because, right, like I said this even yesterday, like what should have just gone right there. You had the setup right there. So this is looking at a failure. And if that's a failure, we're just going to go a lot higher. The only thing I'll say is that sometimes before a breakdown, you get a move just like this, and then it goes like that. So I would just put that in your back pocket there, that like scenario. And if it does, just buy it when it gets here. But it's possible right now that gold is sniffing something out here, and like stimulus. Why is that? Well, look at that. The 2-year went red today. It was up earlier, and the 30-year was up a lot more, and then they're back to flat now. The 3-month has got an engulfing here. So yields are coming in. You know, Fed funds is right there. So they're starting to come in a little bit. And, you know, that's it. I mean, I guess so you got that. You got this funding stuff now. It was talked about that Bessent was pressuring the Fed to open a swap line and do all that stuff. So I wouldn't be shocked to see that. We did have a little market up, vol up action yesterday too. So, you know, there's that. I don't think the market's in any trouble yet, but these are just things I look at, you know, for future reference. The VIX came in pretty hard today, though. I was surprised at how much it sold off, honestly. Though I didn't think it would like rip or anything, but I'm surprised it would be down as much as it was. But a lot of people talking about market up, VIX up yesterday, so maybe that's why it had to come in. So anyway, what else we got here? Cloud took a breather. We mentioned semis, of course, possible breakout there. No follow through yet. SNDK will obviously move that needle one way or the other. Transports, again, pauses across the board here. XHB was up. IYR kind of a gap up and then back to inside. XLF new all-time high. So no problems there. KRE again, quite close. Broker dealers are green. Oil, again, pins right to $75 like we figured, right around that 115 USO area. I don't like it for a bounce anymore. It doesn't mean it can't. I just don't like it. And there's actually some put interest coming in at 112 and 110 for Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I know 115 is still LG1. Yeah, it still is. Let me get rid of this for you. So it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad now. Is this? Hold on, let me check. Let me fix this again. There we go. Yep. Sorry, I did not update that. Yeah. So I mean, this could accelerate potentially to 110 even. Heck, 105. So I would not look to be buying this dip in oil this week. XLE held yesterday's low. XOP down and OIH down as well. Dollar also down, right? If the dollar loses 100, that's bullish gold, right? And it's bearish yields. So you see what I'm talking about now? Platinum with a nice bid. That took off yesterday. Remember we talked about that? And then palladium, same thing. Copper also about to make a new all-time high. So metals, very, very strong day. And another decent day here was on Bitcoin. This is trying to break out right now. So we've got a little bit of a, a minor kind of falling wedge here. We violated it a few times on the downside, and then we popped back. Take a look here now. I talked about this morning, but could have an inverse head and shoulder here that's a lot bigger. So this one here is kind of like, it would have been okay if it had just gone right there. It would have been an okay right shoulder, but now it kind of got sloppy. But now it's like, okay, well, did we form another one here? Right there. So keep an eye out for that. And again, what is Bitcoin like, right? Yields down, definitely, right? Soft monetary policy. What is gold like, right? Right? So do you see what I'm putting together here? So just keep an eye out for that. Maybe it's a fake move and it just goes back down and does what it always does and chops around, but it wouldn't be surprising if it wasn't. Eventually it's got to do something, right? Why not now? Anyway, let's see what we get here tomorrow. Probably not too much other than a small dip. And then non-farm payroll, we'll see what happens there. So anyways, guys, we'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Like the channel, come find us in the morning, 8:45 on Carnivore Trades. And we'll see you guys all in the morning.